Good morning, natural gas. It's Tuesday, June the 23rd, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And for the spot July natural gas contract, we're down. We're down 5 cents to 322 and a half, or 5.3 cents, and or 1.62%. The RSI is trying to turn lower. July natural gas goes off the board on Friday. So option expiration is this Thursday. Storage is also this Thursday. Expectations right now about plus 68 BCF. That compares to last year's 96, with the 5-year average around plus 75. The weather remains bullish. LNG is growing. And yet we're down. Why? Because we keep getting caught in the downdrafts with crude oil and the uncertainty here with the upcoming July 4th holiday. How is demand going to look? Well, right now, it looks like it's going to be warm and LNG is going to be strong. So we'll see if it stabilizes here around the 3.25 level for option expiration on Thursday. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. And as you can see, we're below the daily pivot today, which came in at 329 and a half. We're holding right at first support here at 321.40. The RSI is looking like it wants to stabilize here and move higher. We've been unable to continue the drafts to the upside because of crude oil and uncertainty again around the July 4th holiday weekend for demand. So let's take a look at the grid. Here's ERCOT. Right now, we're looking at almost 48,000 of renewable capacity today. The peak here for power is 82,000 megawatts in ERCOT. Right now, natural gas is pulling 38% of the fuel mix. Wind and solar are doing very well as usual. Wind is going to have a good day later this afternoon. Let's take a look at the grid across the United States, and everything is fairly stable, but that was the case yesterday as well, and yet power prices were spiking all over PJM, SPP, even NISO. So we've got to be a little careful here. We're getting some interesting results, I should say, from some of the heat and humidity. It seems to be causing some more volatility. Let's take a look at this is TTF. And as you can see right now, this is the August contract. We're currently down a little bit here. This is in euros here per megawatt hour. So, excuse me, this is dollars per MMBTU. Sorry, I've switched it out again. And we're currently around $14 here and 5 cents. So we're down 6.1 cents, or just about 0.43%. The RSI is stabilizing here. Again, this is for the August contract. But let's take a look at JKM. And this is in right now yen here. So we've got to be a little careful. We're actually up here for August contract, up 1.19%. The RSI is also stabilizing, trying to move higher. So again, spot cargoes are incentivized to move to Asia, not Europe. Let's take a look at the US weather here, and this is the European model. And as you can see here, we start going through the forecast period. As we get into July the 4th, it starts getting very, very warm. Eastern half of the United States here, Texas to Florida, all the way back up into the East Coast. You can see these domes of warmer temperatures here, 80s, 90s, 100s as we get into July. Let's take a look right here. July the 4th here, first thing in the morning, you can see 102 in Dallas, 107 in Phoenix. The interior for California here, the Salton Sea, 105, 97 up in North Carolina. So as we go through the forecast period here, that warmth continues to push out. This is the European model. This tends to be cooler than GFS. And as you can see, hundreds here across the Southeast, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So as you can see here, it pushes in, and let's push it all the way out here to the forecast period here toward the 7th. And as you can see here, going out a little further, the weather continues to hold here. This is the 7th, 103 in Dallas. Again, Phoenix, 106 here. Chicago, 93. Starting to push up into the upper 80s and 90s here as we go up the East Coast. So this is good news for weather demand because it's picking up a lot of Texas all the way over into the Southeast. Let's take a look at the heat risk. And as you can see here, we're going to push it out. Watch the extreme heat risk. We're only about 145,000 today, but as you can see, this major heat risk starts picking up. A lot of people here as we get into next week. The extreme risk goes into 2 million people here around Texas, Dallas in particular, and Florida. Go into Sunday, now starting to pick up South and North Carolina, as well as parts of Georgia, Oklahoma, and into Monday here, 14.2 million people under extreme heat risk on Monday, June the 29th. Let's take a look at LNG and look what we've got. We've got 2 vessels loading up here at Sabine Pass. They've got 3 docks there. And look what we've got. We've got an LNG tanker about to dock here at Golden Pass. This would be the 3rd LNG tanker to pick up a cargo from Golden Pass. Let's take a look at Cameron. This is up to 1.452, so that's pretty good utilization here, over 90%. And let's take a look at Creole Trail. This feeds Sabine Pass. Again, also well into full utilization for this time of year. Again, hot and humid weather keeps it below 100% for these big box LNG facilities. Here's Corpus Christi also doing very, very well considering the weather. And here is Freeport up to 1.8 here in the latest yesterday. That's good news for that facility. This is Trans-Cameron Pipeline feeding Calcasieu Pass. Venture Global's here. Still got a half a BCF of capacity open here at this particular facility. There's no notices out there showing any kind of maintenance or kind of fuel work here. So I don't know what's going on there. We're still digging into that. So Gator Express here feeding Plaquemines, and there's actually a little bit of capacity right now, just operating just below nameplate capacity. We haven't seen that for a few weeks. It's been doing very, very well. And here is Golden Pass, over 400,000. So that's half the capacity of Train 1. That's good news. Train 2 should be mechanically operational at the end of this year, and then Train 3 sometime in the end or toward the 3rd quarter of 2027. So we'll keep a careful eye on this because this is going to start ramping up as the weather gets into the fall. Let's take a look at Europe. And of course, the heat wave in France is the big story here. This continues going forward here. As you can see, this is the temperature anomaly map here. Very, very warm temperatures. France, Belgium, Netherlands here, back into Germany here. So as you can see, this expands into Thursday. This continues to be very, very warm in the UK and Ireland as well. Oddly, Spain is okay. But as you can move forward here, it expands out into the east, pushing into Poland, Austria, and a few other countries here in Eastern Europe. This pushes all the way back, as you can see, now centered in Poland here by June the 30th, and then pushes further east as we get into the forecast, and then cooler weather, and then mixed as we get into July the 8th. Here's the EU storage right now. It's doing okay. We're still not incentivized to push a lot of gas into the ground because the front to back spreads are inverted. As you can see, the Netherlands here is under 20, it's just over 23%. Belgium at 22%. The big problem here, the UK at 18.22% full. So long way to go to fill storage. They better hurry up. And let's take a look at Asia here. Again, this is the European model. This is the temperature anomaly map. As you can see, it's kind of a mixed picture here. We do start seeing some warmer temperatures here north of Shanghai. This is Shanghai right here, and then pushing back up into Beijing, the capital city. But it's a mixed picture here between cooler and warmer temperatures as we go through the forecast period. Looks like it might end up a little bit warmer as we get into the July 8th period. So let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear fleet. And currently right now we are at 2.5 gigawatts that are offline. Mainly it's South Texas unit number 2 that's offline. We still have a few units that Waterford here. This is up at Fermi, still out at 17%. Perry in Ohio, and then Peach Bottom has got a small outage. Let's take a look at the Gulf of America / Mexico. And as you can see, really nothing developing here in this particular space. And there is nothing expected for the next 2 weeks. This pushes us all the way through July the 7th. Nothing in the Atlantic Basin. There is some risk here as we get into the Pacific off of Mexico. And why is there nothing for the mid-Atlantic? You guessed it. The Saharan air layer, or that dust, is just coming off of the coast, and it is just a huge plume is actually going to inhibit any storm development in the mid-Atlantic. This is a repeat of what happened last year. And with El Nino conditions, it might even be worse. Let's take a look at the stocks. And everything is starting to get into the red today. Unfortunately, the only one that's staying positive right now, Northern Oil and Gas, barely keeping its head above water. Magnolia behind me, down 0.55%. And as you can see right now for the spot natural gas contract, we're currently trading at 321.5, down 6.5 cents here, or almost 2%. Option expiration is Thursday. Storage expectations plus 68. That's bullish relative to last year, bullish relative to the 5-year. Futures go off the board on Friday. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.